What's up guys, it's Miss Evan and I'm back with another video for you. In today's video I'm going to be showing you guys a DIY ear tutorial based on the Minnie main attraction collection for the month of June. This is just one of the previous collections. I don't have the June collection because it hasn't come out yet, but let me stop talking and we're going to get into it. Hey guys, so while the hot glue gun is heating up, I am just going to trace with my ear tracing template. I am going to trace the ear for you guys. And now we have our ear. After you've traced your ear onto your cardboard, you're going to want to use either scissors, the X-Acto knife, or the box cutter to cut it out. Now what I do is I just use the box cutter on this bottom line, and then I use the scissors to cut the rest out. Now that you have the bottom piece cut out, you're going to want to take your scissors and cut out the rest of the ear. Now that you have your ear cut out, you want to take your fabric with the dull side and place that down, and you want to put your cardboard on top of it so that you can see if you have enough fabric. When gluing your fabric on, some fabrics are stretchier than others. So you're going to want to make sure that you don't pull the fabric too hard, because when you stuff the ears with polyfill, the fabric is going to want to expand, and sometimes the fabric will end up coming off the ears, which is a pain in the neck. So what I sometimes do is I will smush the cardboard down so that it's flatter and you don't have to really pull much of the fabric. Once your cardboard is flat, you can place it on top of your fabric and you can start hot gluing. Basically, when you hot glue your fabric to your cardboard, you don't want to put a ton of glue, especially with this fabric, because this fabric is more like thin and see-through. So you start by putting a thin line of glue around the top, like so. Not too much, but just enough to get the fabric to stick. And then gently pull the fabric over and push it down. This fabric is a pain because it likes to shed. I'm not particularly fond of fabric like that. See, the sparkles are going all over the place. And if you need to reapply glue until your fabric sticks. And you're going to do this for the entire edge of the ear. And repeat with the other 4 pieces of cardboard. Next step, we are going to stuff the ears. Now, usually with ears, I don't measure the amount of polyfill I use. I really should, because in some cases with my ears, one side has been more puffy than the other, and it's very noticeable. Also, sometimes when cutting my ears, I don't always cut them as precisely as the matching ear, so sometimes one ear can be bigger than the other. But what I usually do with my polyfill is I will grab a handful like this much, and what I do is I rip it off in sections so that I'm not using too much, And you don't even need a tool or anything for this. Just use your fingers and push it. Make sure you push it into the corners of the ear so that no area of your ear is flat. I mean, unless you like flat ears, then by all means use less polyfill, but I like my ears to be poofy and not flat. So keep adding your polyfill, and this step is also going to be repeated for all 4 ears. Oh, another important note that I wanted to mention, you don't have to glue your ears. There are different methods when making ears. You can sew your ears or you can glue them. Me, I personally glue every pair of my ears. I was never taught to sew, and I don't have a sewing machine of my own. I mean, my mom has one, but I personally like gluing a lot better. And there's a bunch of tutorials out on YouTube of sew ear tutorials as well as no sew. So whatever your preference, it really doesn't matter. But if you are gluing your ears like I am, it is important to leave a flap of fabric when you initially trace your fabric for all your ears so that you can hot glue this down at the end. Also, another important thing to mention, which I completely forgot about, if you stuff your ears too much, depending on what you use as a base for your ears, either cardboard like I do or foam, which some other people I know use, if you stuff it too much, 1, your fabric can pop off, and 2, your base of your ear can bend. I noticed foam is a lot easier to bend than cardboard, but cardboard will bend too if you're stuffing your ears to the max. Next, you'll want to glue your 2 pieces together, and you will have your complete first ear. Also, another thing I forgot to mention with ears, I am going by the Shop Disney Minnie Main Attraction ears for June, but normally for my ears I will add trim, which you can buy trim at a lot of different places. I buy trim at Walmart and at Michael's, but anything really could be trim. I bought a pack of like Mardi Gras beads off of Amazon for pretty cheap, and then once your ears are glued together, you can just press and hold them together, or like earlier in the video I had mentioned, you can use clothespins, because sometimes when doing ears, the ends don't always stay together like I want them to, and you can always add more glue. It's not a problem. As I said also earlier in the video, I use a lot of glue when making my ears. Stay tuned and I'll be back in a jiff. So we have our first complete ear. Another reason why I like the hot glue method is because it's a lot simpler than sewing for me. So using a hot glue gun isn't that hard. Also, earlier I forgot to mention, when making ears you obviously need a headband. One thing that I have learned through being a part of so many ear making groups through Instagram is that some people will want to line their headbands, and I'm going to use one of my black headbands just because this fabric is kind of a pain in the neck, and I don't know if you can see, but it's shedding all over my board, so I don't know if I have the patience to try and wrap that around a headband. Also, I feel like it would be really uncomfortable and I want to wear these ears, so I don't think I'm going to line the headband. Another thing I wanted to mention is when making your bow, you don't have to put a bow with your ears. My personal opinion though is that it would look weird without a bow, because majority of the ears that Disney makes and a bunch of other people that I've seen make, they're more geared towards the Minnie Mouse aspect of it versus Mickey Mouse, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying I see more girly ears, and I make all my ears with bows. Every single pair of ears that I have made has a bow. So my point was, when making your bow, you don't have to use the same fabric that your ears are. You can do ribbon. This fabric actually was part of this. It was on the end of it. I just cut it off because I liked how it looked, and I think it's gonna go really well with the ears. It's kind of like the ribbon that they use to make the bow, but it's obviously not the same color. In the picture, it's a light blue. I will insert it in this video so you guys can see what I'm talking about if you haven't already seen it on Instagram. But anyway, this ear's almost done, so let's continue. Quick thing, while making your ears, if you guys have extra fabric hanging over, what you can do is you can just cut it off. That way when you're gluing your ears together, it's easier. Just like that. Next step, guys, is you are going to want to add crystals for the stars, because this is related to Peter Pan. So on one of the ears there is the first star and the second star. Now you guys can do whatever you like. I just liked the crystal idea. So now we're going to attach the bow into the center of the headband. So what you want to do is you're going to want to add a drop of glue in the center of the headband. Just a little drop, it doesn't have to be a big drop. And then you're going to want to place your bow down and just hold it down. And because this is like tricky fabric, you might just want to hold it down for a few seconds. Okay, so now we're going to glue the ears onto the headband. So you're just going to put glue all along the bottom and then attach it to the headband. With this, you want to do like a fair amount of glue. You can always add more, but you want to make sure that your ears are going to stick to your headband. And when you're putting them on, it's best to press down as hard as you can so that your ears aren't like wobbling all over the place. Also, when doing your ears, you want to make sure you don't have them too far on the front edge or the back edge of the ear. So you want to make sure there's enough space on either side of the headband. We'll do the next ear. And then you just want to press and hold it down. You want to make sure your ears are firm and they aren't going to move all over the place. If you guys enjoyed this video, please feel free to like, subscribe. Don't forget to turn on my post notifications so you don't miss a video. And feel free to comment down below if you are going to buy the Minnie Main Attraction collection coming out in June. Until next time, bye!